Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Marty, along with
MJ in the house, otherwise known as that rocker, Marty Jannetty.
I know it's getting cool out, but it's not quite Halloween yet. We'll be back with a brand new Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty next. Wrestling fans, our 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive is kicking off with an early, unexpected bang as recent WWE NXT Cruiserweight Champion Lio Rush will be joining us live Thursday, November the 5th, here at MWF Studios in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, the zip code of champion 02176. A lot has been said about Lio while he was with WWE. A lot has been said about Lio since he was released by WWE during the coronavirus outbreak in April. We'll be taping a special Wrestling Insider Rush Hour miniseries to let Lio tell his story his way. At 8 p.m. that night, we'll be going live around the corner and around the world for a special cyber autograph signing where you can get a personalized autograph photo from Lio sent directly to your home. For complete information, visit bostonwrestling.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. It is Thursday night. It's 9 p.m. It's Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. I'm Dan Marty, but more importantly, we're joined by my
MJ in the house, that rocker, Marty Jannetty.
I don't even know what you are. I couldn't even finish my thought.
Oh, what was you going to think?
I don't even know.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Sorry about
I kind of drew a blank, and you just, you know, you picked up on it, and you
How you
carried
draw a
it.
blank?
That's a good question. I know how to shoot them, but that's a different story for a different
boy.
time. You'd have to ask Linda about that.
Oh, dang, harass eating Annie.
No. We're not talking Annie. Well, Marty, it is a great time here. We've got Tuesdays at 9 with Tony Atlas, Thursdays with you. The fans have really helped pick up steam. We have the Super Chat button going tonight. If you watch the live premiere at 9 o'clock, you can talk along with us, and you can help keep Wrestling Legends working at the same time. The more fans that contribute and help out what we're trying to do, that means more bookings for Tony Atlas, more bookings for Marty Jannetty, more bookings for Brutus Beefcake. We have so many guys that we've spoken to about coming in.
More for Matt Daddy and Goliath in the control room.
Is that what his new nickname is now, Goliath?
That's what
he is a Goliath. But when you're a mayor, I guess you have to be, right?
I guess.
You got to have those balls of steel.
Him.
We're also working on something tremendous. I don't know if we can let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, not to be confused with the cat on Tony Atlas's porch.
Better not be swaggy.
No. But we're working on something great for our Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive endeavor this year. Obviously, we're probably not going to be able to have a live wrestling event. It kind of is what it is. But now that the ability to do all this streaming stuff is coming to life, we've got a lot of folks that want to help out. It's going to be our 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this year that he started with us before he unfortunately passed away. So a lot of cool stuff is happening. The Patreon is growing, Marty, now that you're involved with it, and Tony. All you have to do is head on over to patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. They can stream studio shoot interview DVDs full length. They can access these episodes early without any advertisements or anything. It's a really cool platform for fans to take part of, and it helps us stay active. Are you looking for a cat?
No, but my pants are too short.
Your pants are too short?
Yeah.
Well, it is the fall now, so.
Oh, and now
I'm long sleeve now, baby.
Yeah, I see that. It's hot in the studio, all these lights up here. And this is not, Atlanta Falcons had the Braves on yesterday.
I saw that.
And Falcons, this is the Julio Jannetty, though. If you look on the back.
I was very impressed. Where did you get that jersey?
I forgot.
Yeah.
I think my friend.
It meant a lot to you, though.
Miranda sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
And she's a Milwaukee girl. Matt Daddy was like that.
But we spoke to her on the phone.
I think we did. Yeah, last night. That's right, we did.
TGI Fridays.
Yeah, what happened to Wolford's?
To what?
What's that Chinese place we go?
Kowloon.
Oh, yeah, what'd I say?
Walford's, I think.
And I got Julio's college on Bama because, you know, I love the Roll Tide, but also a Georgia Bulldog. Because I grew up on the border right there. Columbus is right, the river separated, the Chattahoochee River.
Yeah, the old Chattahoochee.
Right behind the bowling alley.
There
separates Alabama and Georgia. So And we had Bear Bryant back then, so, you know, we loved Bama and we loved Georgia. And some guys like Auburn. Auburn's like 30 minutes from where I live. I'm not really crazy about them.
All right.
They got my own reasons.
All right. Well, maybe we'll go there when we're talking
They wanted me to come there
sometime.
to be a kicker.
Oh, did they?
And not to play anything else, because I had a state record for a little bit, 55-yarder in high school.
Wow.
And but I didn't want to just be a kicker. I mean, I wanted to play too. And they're like, "No, we don't want our kickers playing." I was like, "I ain't coming then." I ended up wrestling the little small community college, Chattahoochee Valley. And we, you know, our coach came in. He's actually from Jersey. He'd come down there and turn that program around. My first year, he took a chance. He goes, "I heard you could be a little bit to handle." And but he took a chance on me, and it worked out good. He sent me to nationals every year. You know, you have to qualify. You win the district, win the SEC junior college title, and then you go to national, qualify for nationals. And we got ranked as high as number 8 in the nation at one time under him. Wow! And they hadn't won maybe one match in the last 3 years before he got there. And then so I really enjoyed that. But and then we wrestled against Auburn because we go over there to scrimmage with them. And so a bunch of us were beating their guys. So, you know, you figured the next step, when in 2-year college, we'll go to Auburn. But so it didn't work out. I think they were dropping their wrestling program. Plus, some of the coaches were still pissed at me for walking out. I didn't want to kick for them because I wanted to play linebacker or do something. I didn't kick the football. Hell, I can do that at home. Right. But yeah, that was that. And so I get the sport. Yesterday I have a Braves. I think I still got the hat on.
You got the hat.
There. I ain't got a haircut in like 38 years.
38 years, really?
How long has this pandemic been going on?
Since March. So
Did you say March?
March,
March.
yeah, March.
Park the car in the garage. That's if you're in Boston.
You
know they gave me a hard time again. Let me show you. Right here on camera.
What happened?
No, I might get in trouble. I got enough legal problems right now. The Massachusetts people, they keep sending me stuff saying, "Are you quarantined for your 14?" I mean, every day, they really do.
Really? Every day they're texting you?
Look, I'll show you if I can find it. Sorry, not trying to hold y'all up, but if you come to Massachusetts, be prepared to sign your life away. Here, you read that to them. Can you read?
All right. No, not really, but if I put it close enough. Massachusetts traveler without a negative test, Massachusetts law requires a 14-day quarantine. Failure to comply may result in a $500 a day fine.
You go split that with me?
Taking it very serious. We'll have to, yeah.
Every day, though, until I leave, which what,
They've
Tuesday?
texted it to you every day?
Really? Yesterday, they said they'll continue until the 14 days is
Well, we've got some friends in politics in the back, so maybe.
Hey, Goliath, I'm going to need you, bro.
All right, wrestling fans, we continue our journey down 1988 with Marty with a lot of twists and turns in between that take us not only around the country, around the globe with some of Marty's adventures. The fan response has been phenomenal. We go to October the 16th, 1988. It was almost a different incarnation of what would become the King of the Ring tournament pay-per-view back when it was a house show. The first 2 years it took place at Foxborough Stadium, the home of the New England Patriots, and then it went on to become...
They don't have Tom Brady anymore.
They don't.
So what's going to happen?
Tampa Bay's got him.
Yeah, but they got Cam, though. They brought up Auburn.
They got Cam in.
Yeah, Auburn, won the national championship for Auburn.
What do you think that's going to be a plus for the Patriots, minus?
It's going to take him a minute to learn the system.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a plus.
If he's healthy, my God, that could be a great pickup for him.
He gets whacked on that shoulder again.
Yeah.
Right, Matt Daddy? You know about the stuff.
Yeah, he knows.
He's an encyclopedia for wrestling and all sports. That's cool. That's good for me.
He's an encyclopedia, all right. Yeah, Joe Scoops, as we like to call him.
Oh, is that right?
Joe Scoops. All right, wrestling fans. Again, back to King of the Ring. It went from a couple of football stadium shows to a house show in Providence every year. In 1988, you were actually in the tournament.
Yeah, and I was there when Harley race came through. Mm-hmm. And they put that thing on him, the king,
the helmet, the crown,
freaking helmet, yeah. But it was funny because Central States where I broke in, he was him and Bob Geigel owned it, and he always would do his interviews. I am the 7 times real world champion, not that Hollywood Hogan bullshit up there. And he would preach that we do the real thing. We are not a traveling circus. And I I would always ask him, like, because I was there doing the next interview, and I was like, Harley, do you really think it's a circus? Because I was still studying and learning shit. It's a joke. I would never have anything to do with that. Then a couple years later, they called him, and he went right the fuck up. He went right in. And then I told you, I think I told you in an earlier episode, he comes in, sits down, or we go sit, he was sitting, me and Sean, you know, felt comfortable to go talk to him. I think he actually got there before us.
Oh, he did, yeah. He debuted in '86.
Yeah, and we said we'd go sit with him, and I said, Harley, you know, you always told me this place was a joke. How'd you get here so fast? Well, money talks. and then he said, let me tell you something. When Hogan and I worked Madison Square Garden, we sold it out the fastest it's ever been sold out, one day. And I'm like, really? Wow. He goes, they didn't come to see him. He had been there before. Oh, Harley, man, I miss him. Rest in peace, my brother.
Well, we enjoyed having him in this very studio. That was
you had him in?
Yeah, yeah. I wish we had more of them.
How'd he do?
Good.
Because there at the end, he was kind of tired a lot. You know?
Well, this was probably '09, so not.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. He really didn't start to decline much at that point.
You know, remember that girl, Gorgeous George?
Yeah, the one that was with Macho Man.
Yes.
You mean? Yep.
Pretty girl. In fact, you know, because Randy was the one with her, I didn't never want to like approach her or anything. Even after they split off, you know, it was still like Randy's, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But she was a pretty girl. Boy, when she would get drunk, oh my God, Tasmanian Devil had nothing on her. I was sitting with Harley and I don't remember who else. Maybe Bob Orton Sr. We were sitting in a little restaurant getting something to eat, talking, and she comes in raising hell with the bartender and just having a fit. And I said, let me go over there and calm her down. I'll be right back. Harley gets me, goes, just sit right here and enjoy the show.
Like I said, I imagine if we were able to have Harley in several times, some of the content we could have produced.
Oh, imagine him and Sheik together. That'd be a good one.
That would be an interesting twosome. That could have been a reality show.
What about New Jack?
I'd love to have New Jack. We had New Jack on a live event, but never here in the studio. And I liked him. I liked him an awful lot. Very upfront guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to let you know the truth.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I said he'll let you know the truth.
I think he'd be a great addition to what we're trying to do.
I'll talk to him if you want.
Definitely. Definitely. Would love to have him with us sometime.
That'd be great, man.
Yeah, a different point of view, you know, from a different territory.
Oh, man.
We really haven't done much on ECW here.
He has one of the best. I mean, I timed it. I'm like, God, the intensity. It was like 8.5 minutes. But he went off on Benoit, you know, on a shoot interview. Oh boy, I mean, that intensity has started. Sheik even said, tell him, Bubba, you tell him. He couldn't even get a word in because Jack was going, bro. He was just going for 8 minutes. So he was just, oh man, he was ripping into Benoit. But you know, because he was good friends with Nancy, and you know, Chris was kind of hard to get close to, which is, you know, nobody. I mean, not everybody's trying to get close to everybody, but just saying, it wasn't standoffish. It was just closed. You know, it was just closed. It was like, you know, hey, he's a very nice guy, super nice, very polite, very respectful. But he was just to himself. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I tried to do that until I started drinking.
There you go.
But yeah. And New Jack didn't hold back. I mean, for 8 minutes, I was so impressed. Like, next time I have an argument with one of my girls, I want to see if I can yell that long. It's not even just the yelling, it's the intensity. You know, and you, Vince, you get blood on your hands and you're going to get away with it again. I'm like, damn. And I sat back and I thought, I wonder why New Jack's not been in WWE.
I don't think he would fit in WWE no matter
he'd
what.
Knock somebody out too quick.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been a good fit, but certainly a very interesting guy. Like I said,
good guy,
I like upfront, and he was very upfront when we had him.
Good man to have on your team.
All the way back in 2002, I think. It's been that long now. So
yeah.
It's been a minute since we've seen him, but I'd like to have him again. But back to you. That night, King of the Ring, you went the singles route. In a losing effort in the first round to the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor. Any memories of having a singles match for the first time in the company?
You know, Terry was so good to work with, because he'd educate you during the match. He would tell you why to do certain things. Like, remember, I think I told him another episode, he told me this one, he had me in a rear chin lock. And, you know, and I got my hands up, like, and he's whispering in the ear, turn your palms up. This way it's like you're asking the people for, you know, help. Turn your hands up. I mean, a little thing like that. I mean, I'm learning during the match with him. Solid, very good worker. Knows what he knows the business. He knows the psychology. That's why I told you when Vince called him in for a meeting and told him, you know, what do you think? Terry's. And that's usually a good thing. When Vince wants to talk with you, he's going to bump you up somewhere or give you another character or something. Or he's going to do like this and tell Terry, great worker, great concept of psychology, and solid as can be with all our guys in the ring, but unfortunately, the business is where we're going now, that's not necessary. So he just basically said, we don't need a good worker no more. Fuck. He told Jake, he brought Jake in. I was riding with Jake at the time, too. Jake didn't let it get to him this bad because we just powdered up. Back then, we used to, you know, do stuff. And he just did more of that. we took care of business on that ride. But I was like, well, what was the meeting like? He goes, well, he told me, he said, Jake, what do you do with a good book when you're done reading it? I said, you told him read it again if it's good enough, right? He goes, I didn't say a word. I just said thank you and walked out. But that's how he told Jake goodbye. In a nice way, though. He wasn't being rude. You know, Jake hadn't done anything wrong.
Well, I guess sometimes that can happen with anyone, you know, once they've had their run
not
and
me.
whatnot. No, not you, though. We want our episodes here to go on forever.
7 times real fired. You know, I didn't get fired all those times. I quit a couple.
Did you?
Yeah. But I still got Sheik. Sheik had the record. I broke it. But Chavo Guerrero, the senior, the dad, he broke, you know, Sean and I came in for that one day. We got fired the next day.
Right.
We had the record until he came in there and failed the piss test the first day. He didn't make a whole day. He broke our record. But so about five or six of them, about 5 of them were, well, a couple of them were there's a difference in being released and being fired.
Right, sure.
A couple of times I was released. They had to. One time I was accidentally in jail for a little while. Not the bowling alley, it was something else. Actually, it was just a DUI or something stupid. But anyway, they gave me a release. They waited for so long. I mean, John Laurinaitis, when he was running, when he was vice president, I think he married one of the Bellas. Their mother. Yeah, both of them's mother, I guess. They're twins. But and then I guess Triple H is the vice president now, right? Matt Daddy, who's the vice president now? Who? Not of America, of the WWE. Yeah,
he was in charge of talent relations. He wasn't the vice president of the company.
Triple H?
No,
Yeah,
Johnny Ace.
He was vice president 1 minute.
Of the entire company?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm positive about that. Not HIV, but yeah,
well,
I'm positive.
We don't want to go there.
But when you get released, in my case, I couldn't do anything. They waited on me as long as they could, you know. But Tallahassee, the Florida system down there is kind of crooked. They cleaned it up after I already did my time, but we stopped talking about all this jail stuff, huh? Making myself look like an old villain. But they had to give me a release. I remember a girl came to see me. A visitation, and she had her head down. And I'm the one still struggling in this damn place. But she had her head down, and I'm like, what's wrong? You know, talking through a window, like on the phone. And she goes, I got to give you some news. And as soon as she said that, I'm like, uh-oh, I hope it ain't what I think. And she goes, Johnny said to tell you that your job is secure when you can start back, but for now, they got to give you a release. And then now, you're locked in a place like that, now you can't let your head go down in there because it's like the prey on the weak. They see somebody upset or something, and they're gonna get you. They're gonna get your lunch. They're gonna get your every canteen you got, food, the snacks and shit that we get. end up just beat the hell out of you for being a little wuss. But yeah, and the thing with the release now, you get paid for, I think it was up to 90
days. Yeah.
Yeah, you get paid for the next 90 days still. Whereas when you're fired, that your shit stops right then. That's it. You ain't getting another paycheck. But as Al Snow said, if Vince thinks you got value for the company, he'll bring you back. You know, that was like Hacksaw Duggan and Sheik when they both got released. You know, when they got caught on the Garden State Parkway or Jersey Turnpike, whatever it was.
Yeah, and back in '87.
Yeah, and they had to let them go because they got this big feud with each other, and they're riding, and I think there was some cocaine, but definitely with some weed.
Yeah, the Sheik had the coke in his bag. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they, you know, that made it headline news. USA Today front page. And so when Vince had that meeting, he brought, you know, first time he'd ever had a meeting with all the boys. That's why we got in trouble that night. We just had a meeting on professionalism. And, you know, we really didn't do anything wrong. That was Jimmy Jack, and he's apologized and admitted, you know, out that it was his fault. But he had talked about then, Vince had talked about then, and said, those guys, their career is over. They'll never be back. One stupid decision like that, and they'll never be back again. You guys mess up like that, your career will be just like theirs, over. And he had him back by a year later, 6 months later.
Duggan was back before the end of '87. Sheik, it took about a year, yeah.
Yeah, so we're like, yeah, he really, and it's like Al Snow said, if he thinks he can make money with you, he'll bring you back. He didn't like Jesse DeBody, you know, because Jesse sued him for like, I think $700,000, because we all got notes. I don't know why he sent them to us. You know, we got notes in our mail, or your check. You used to get a check every Monday. You go to that mailbox, you got that check sitting there. But you had a note in it where Jesse is settled, or they did something for $700,000, and it had to do with royalties because they weren't paying the guys correctly on the royalties either. And Jesse, you know, took it to court and won. And you know, you got $700,000 out of Vince, or the company, I should say, not Vince, but out of the company. You think you're going to be back? Wait a minute, you became governor? Yeah, come on back. Governor of Minnesota? Yeah, come on back. We use you as special guest referee. You remember that?
Yeah, SummerSlam '99.
Oh, my God. Yeah. You are an encyclopedia.
Well.
Yeah, man. So, what brought that up, though? We were talking about
part?
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring '80. I'm impressed you remembered. It was your first singles match in the company. Lost to Terry Taylor.
With Terry.
Sean went on to the second round. He beat Danny Davis in a singles match.
You know, Terry Taylor was working with Sheik one time, and we're watching because, you know, we know Sheik's routine pretty good, but Terry was kind of new in, and we knew he could work though. So we're watching, we're studying, and it got to a part of the match it just got weird. It's like something ain't right. And it kind of slowed down. And I remember asking Terry when he come back, I said, Terry, what was that when you were in a rear chin lock forever and then it snatched you back down in it as you got up or something? I can't remember exactly what it was. I said, what was that all about? He said, she kept saying, Teddy, what's the gimmick? And Terry was like, well, what's the gimmick? You know, work the damn gimmick, Teddy. I threat you if you don't. and Terry's like, I don't know what gimmick you're talking about. You look at the people and tell them, a USA, a USA. He says, Sheik, I can't do that. He goes, you either do that, Terry, I threat you. He goes, Sheik, I can't do USA here. He goes, why can't you do USA? He goes, because we're in Canada. I don't care, do it anyway. And he did, and they got with it. We're in Montreal, and they're cheering USA, USA.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man.
Lazaro Vaziri.
Yep. Never got to work with him, but I bet it was fun. It would have been fun. I mean.
Well, he'll always be in this studio in spirit.
Yeah.
But the havoc he created in this one room still amazes me as I look up at the lights right now. But late October 1988, it was...
Oh, so Harley race,
sorry.
so Harley get the King of the Ring. I don't know if that was the first
That wasn't the year he won, though. He won it in '86.
Is that what it was?
DiBiase won it in '88, yeah.
Well, that was the whole... I told you, like with Terry Taylor, they always rib you by your personality. You come in all cocky, you become the Red Rooster. You know, Harley come in wanting to be the real world champion. So they put the king crown on him, and he was weighed about 20 damn pounds. And if that wasn't bad enough, they made him, there's a little chin strap thing that squeezed his face up. They said, wear that. I mean, they just was like clowning him. And he did it. But he was proud to be the king. Macho Man made it cool. Remember, he changed the crown.
Yeah, he had a nice looking crown.
Yeah, he changed that.
He wasn't wearing that big purple bucket.
Damn, I mean, when you set it down, I like mess with stuff and stuff up toilet paper up in there. The Harley I liked a lot, so and it knocked the hell out of you. I mean, like with Fuji, I'd cut up with him sometimes, take his hat and spray paint the rim on the inside. When we was in Madison Square Garden, and he put it on, and he kept messing with it. He could feel it. He pulled it off and looked, and he had a black ring around his head, and he's looking, and he's I'll get you, Marty. Right? I'll get you. He didn't have to guess who did it. But yeah, that was funny. But I wouldn't do that to Harley. I'd just stuff it full of toilet paper, something, ruffled up paper, something easy.
Yeah, that's harmless enough.
Yeah.
Late 1988, I'm sorry, October of 1988, Saturday Night's Main Event, one of those NBC phenomenons that drew millions and millions of fans while replacing Saturday Night Live. You had, geez, I lost
Saturday Night Live.
Remember Saturday Night Live, the comedy show?
Yeah.
That's what Saturday Night's Main Event would replace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You had a showdown between Jake the Snake Roberts and Ravishing Rick Rude. They had a hot feud in 1988. It was one of the final appearances in Jake's corner of Cheryl Roberts. Any memories of Cheryl Roberts?
Yeah, she was kind of a sweetheart. She was just kept quiet to herself, you know. They had the little girl with them not all the time, but usually when she would be there. And so she'd be taking care of her kid. She was a sweetheart. I can't find anything wrong.
They'd bring one of their kids on the road?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, really?
Girl. You know, Jake, I hope you don't mind me telling this one, Jake.
Jake is going to be coming here sometime.
Is he? Well, I'd love to be here with him. We'd have fun together. We'd come up with some stories, bro. We did some stuff on the road. I was telling Matt one today, wasn't I?
Well, let's hear it. What do we got?
No.
What do we got?
Well, I'll just say this much. Back then, you know, they eventually put it in the contract. I think this was in the contract. Later, they put in the contract you couldn't fraternize with the Raw girls and all that stuff. But there was supposed to be no fraternization. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Fraternization? The hell? Come up with that word. But between the boys and office personnel, like the girls, you know, in the office. Well, Jake took that to the limit. I can't tell you what he was doing with the snake.
What he was doing with the snake?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You can't share even. I think the statute of limitations is expired.
No, but we're not on Jake's pride. By the way, Fabo beer.
Fabo Pop, baby.
It's not beer though. What is it?
Soda Pop.
Soda. I mean.
Why'd
you say beer? I'm trying to let y'all know I ain't drinking beer.
You got the mint flavor today. You got the mint flavor.
The mint flavor, that's what that one is. Oh, that was root beer. Cream soda. It's pretty good, though, yo.
Do you think that Jake having Cheryl in his travels with him helped maybe calm him down a little bit, keep his head screwed on straight a little bit?
I don't know what I was going to say. But now, this I will say because it was kind of funny, but maybe it ain't. I don't know his family stuff, but maybe I won't.
He's a single man.
I think when she was, yeah, but the daughter's grown up now.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. But he was only kidding. It was funny to me. So, you know, I'll say this: he was mad at Cheryl one time, and he said, "Oh, fuck them off, fuck them all. All women are just fucking whores, fucking just bunch of whores." I said, "Well, you know," and she was a sweetheart, little 2-, 3-year-old running around, you know. They're whores. They're fucking whores. I'm like, well, what? Your daughter, though? He goes, she's a future whore.
How do you really feel, Jake?
Yeah, but he was just, you know, he was just spouting. He didn't mean that at all. Not at all.
No, who would mean that? October, the tour of the Europe did big business for WWF. It was kind of new. There weren't as many international tours back then as there were now. You had a
There's more now?
Many more international tours. You didn't know that. Well,
no, we were doing pretty good ourselves.
You didn't need to go international at that point, right?
No, but we would usually right after WrestleMania because there's always a little dip after, you know, it'd be like after the Super Bowl. It's a little dip, be a dip in football, even though XFL tried to jump in there, right?
Yeah.
I heard they were starting to come around, then the shit hit. The pandemic thing hit. They bankrupted or something.
The XFL?
Yeah, the newest. The
Oh,
slate.
yeah. Yeah, The Rock bought it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For
Damn.
pennies on the dollar. He did good.
Is that right?
If they can get on TV and get a deal. No, it's interesting, though. I haven't
Well,
seen
the
one
NFL's
time
actually-
cue from your friend over there on this episode. I guess he's too
Matt
busy
Daddy?
visiting a convenience stores. Yeah.
Matt Daddy.
Matt Daddy, yeah.
We might have to ride up
The mayor's going to toss him.
What's that?
The mayor is going to toss him.
Goliath, how you doing back there?
All right, Mayor, thank you.
But one of my legs is getting smaller than the other. I just now noticed that.
Yeah.
I think it was from I had a wreck on my bike. There was, I usually do cardio in the morning, bike ride, because I'm getting old, man. That's all. I can't jog no more because of the ankles. But like 6 in the morning when I usually go, I usually wait till the sun breaks now, so there's a little bit of light. Because I'm like out in the country in Alabama, and it's pitch black. You barely see the road. And another car comes shooting around the corner. Didn't see me. I had to run off the road to keep from getting hit by the car, and it jacked me up with some nerve damage. I guess it's causing the muscle to deteriorate, atrophy here. I never noticed that until now. This leg is, man, I'm falling all apart.
Well, at least you're sitting down now.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Where are we going tonight?
I don't know.
Last night, the one waitress was kind of cute.
The one that looked like John Candy?
Oh, no, not that one. I forgot about that. Yeah, we when you can have fun in the TGIF, and there wasn't hardly anybody in there, was it?
No, it was nice and quiet. But your partner in crime was banned from the studio today.
What'd you do there? Goliath, you was catching hell yesterday. Robbie's catching it. What'd Robbie do?
Wim O'Brien.
Who?
Wim. W-I-M-B. That's his real name, Wim.
Wim, I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna do like the Owen Hart. I thought you was great, man. I didn't think he was an asshole like that.
He's still trying to figure out Wim. He wants to know where it is, but maybe he'll find it someday.
Oh,
we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. But on that October European tour, a rare title change not on TV.
Oh, so I was saying too, though,
Oh,
we used to do right after WrestleMania, we'd shoot over to Europe. And then eventually we got to where India and I think Australia once. But I think that was it. It was just one, and then it became 2 a year. Like somewhere in the fall, I think they would throw a little shorter one in.
Yeah.
What, they're doing more now?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Many
Wow.
times a year, yeah.
Well, because you can't go wrong. I mean, gosh, they love American wrestling everywhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be a sellout. It starts dropping off here, go over there. You start off just like with the basketball players.
Yeah.
When they fall off here, go over there, you're a star again. But yeah, I didn't realize they were going that much though. But like I say, if the ratings are dropping off, all you got to do is international.
On that tour, you had, again, a rare non-televised title change. Rockin' Robin defeated Cherry Martell. Any memories of the sister of Jake the Snake Roberts and Sam Houston?
He called her a whore too.
Did he?
No, I'm just playing, Robin. No, she was a little sweetheart too. Kept to herself quiet. And, yeah, I might have missed a few things. I mean, Sam Houston, he's related somehow, brother. Sam Houston.
Yeah.
What's his real name?
If it isn't Sam, I don't know.
The encyclopedia. What about Matt Daddy? Sam Houston's real name. Man, Sam, you got him. You got 2 dictionaries stumped. But he would say otherwise. She's just wild. You just got to get her in the right place. And I was like, why do you know that? Why do you know? I'd never seen her do. She was kind of to her, a very nice person, very polite, respectable. Like I say, Jake and Sam might be going, shit. You don't know her. You're right.
That was the Robin that you know.
Yeah, the Robin I know is just quiet and to herself. Sort of like me and Jake were.
Also on that tour, it was the end of 2 WWF mainstays at that time. Magnificent Don Morocco, Junkyard Dog. There was a lot of shenanigans on that tour. Any memories of JYD and Don Morocco at the end of their WWF runs?
I think JYD, when he got his first Mercedes, he put regular gas in it and tore it up the first time he filled the tank. I can't forget that one. And with JYD, when we came in, that brother, you know, he's a big boy. He could eat. I mean, when we first started, you know, the guys were showing us around, like, you got your favorite restaurants in each town, and they kind of, a lot of them cater to the boys. You get a bigger steak, you know, faster. But old Junkyard, man, he would have he'd always order 2 of everything that he would get. Yeah, 2 big 30-ounce steaks, 2 of them. You know, wherever we went, he got 2 plates. And we were thinking, on one hand, man, he eats a lot. On the other hand, we're going to make some money here, because that shit was expensive. But in Morocco, I'm sure glad I didn't see him have to pull him off anybody one night. We was walking through, I don't know where the hell it was, Bourbon Street or something like that. And he was wearing a tank top. You know, we just got through wrestling. He was still pumped up, man. He got like basketball delts. And you know, he's walking through, and he had a bottle of something, and it just slipped out of his hand, and broke right there in the road. And these punk kids started laughing at it. Ha, 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 big tough wrestler, huh? Man, he turned and started running after him. I mean, he's a big old boy too, and he was hauling ass. He got within a finger's reach of him. He didn't quite catch him, but that would have been an ugly scene, because he would have hurt them guys.
Well, the Iron Sheik called both of them good medicine men. Would you agree with that statement?
You know, every town we went to, like me and JYD rode a couple times together. Marty, first thing I like to do when I get to a town, I got to find a hood. And I was like, okay, I ain't got a problem with that. But I thought he just, you know, okay, we're in Charlotte, you're going to find a hood. We're in Las Vegas, going to find a hood. We're in Denver, got to find a hood. Chicago, and it wasn't hard to find. Yeah. But then medicine man, that's why he knew right where to go to get medicine. He knew where to get his medicine. You know, Jake had taught me something once when we was out in L.A. And everybody was on the hunt. And he said, all you do is get in a cab and tell them to take you to the hood. They know what you want. They know where it's at. And it was
cab
true.
Drivers?
Yes. I jumped in one time to the hood. I didn't know which one. It went straight to one. And they know, in the hoods, they know when a cab's coming through and there's a white person in there. They know what they're there for. So they're all running up with their stuff to sell you. Why do I know that?
Second-hand stories,
Back
I'm sure.
in the day, that's, you know, I've changed. You've changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was, but Don was, I like Don, man. He could be a bad boy if he wanted to.
Now, what do you mean by that, a bad boy?
He could cut up. He could get pissed off and destroy him studio probably faster than Sheik.
Really?
Yeah, if he was mad, yeah. Yeah, that's a strong-ass boy, man.
Also, in late 1988, you had new babyface tag teams coming in, babyface tag team coming out. B. Brian Blair, Jim Brunzell, the Killer Bees.
That was because of that meeting I told you about.
That was actually led to what them leaving. Yeah,
when Brunzell, you know, hopped up in the meeting and told Vince, seems like the workload's increased, but the payload's decreased. It was gone. Actually, then Blair took it another step further, started going around to the guys talking about starting a union. That's when it was gone. You can't talk about a union around WWE.
I don't remember who it was, but I believe someone in here said they were caught talking with Jesse about unionization. Was that true? Do you remember anything about that?
It's possible. I don't really remember.
Blair apparently was released because, or fired, I should say, because he refused to put over Ron and Tully at a television taping before Survivor Series. Any memories of that?
No, not at all. I didn't know that. There's a lot of things I don't know.
You weren't there.
I mean, even when I'm there, I'm not there.
But I mean, you can't be everywhere every night with everyone.
No. And when they say I'm not all here because I'm not all there.
Do you maybe a thought process, Killer Bees or all the new babyface tag team like yourself, new babyface tag team like Powers of Pain coming in? You think maybe they resented it and they knew, you know, what the writing on the wall was for them? That they
I don't think so, because, you know, they kind of were fun-loving guys. They liked everybody. I mean, as far as I can tell. I mean, I got along great with both of them. Jim's a sweetheart, and Brian's, you got to keep both eyes on him, but he's pretty cool. The reason I say that is we were, he ran a tour down in Aruba. We did Aruba and a couple of the other little islands right around there, and I think Carousel's right there. Carousel, but I'm not sure. But I know Aruba was our mainstay, and Yeah, he was up late. Like I'd be out at the bars. He would too sometimes, but as he got a little older and more responsible, running tours and stuff, he, you know, you could kind of the club thing we thought was going away. He wouldn't go out as much, but there was a. Actually, it happened twice in India too. When he was part of a book. He was a booker or something for a tour in India. Bad News Brown got real angry with him.
Really?
Because he was saying something about our pay. He was only going to be able to pay us half of what we were supposed to get or something. And Bad News was like, nah, no, you give me the whole thing. Now, well, the other guys want to take half, that's on them, but you're going to give me my whole payday. And Brian did. I think I luckily got mine, but some of the guys didn't. And in Aruba, sort of the same kind of thing happened. It was like the common denominator there, or you know, Brian's in charge, there's a problem. Brian's in charge, there's a problem with the money. And what else to say about Aruba, too, I'm out one night, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning in Aruba, man, they love to party. They love to party. And I'm at a club on the beach, right there at the beach, which is where all the good clubs are in Aruba. And I'm not coming out. Now, that was GHB days. So
Oh, the GHB days,
I was feeling good, and I come stumbling out, and I'm thinking, man, I got to get some of that other stuff to get me straight. And that's easy to find in Aruba. But so, I'm out there on the corner, and one dude comes up and tells me how much it was and all that. And I see old Blair, and he's with the booker's wife, or the promoter, the owner, the guy that he was going through from Aruba. He's out with the wife. Now, it could have been an innocent thing, but I don't know. They were giggly and bumping shoulders and all, you know, snuggle up. I don't know how innocent it was, but that's the promoter's wife. And you know, we're worried about the money, and you're out now. There was just something went right. But I never said nothing about that till now. So no worries, Brian. Nobody knows except the people watching this.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if anyone in the history of this studio has ever been talked about in the way that Brian Blair was. The first time we had the Sheik, is noted, he became a phenomenon to a new generation of fans when he talked about wanting to rape Brian Blair and make him humble. Tony Atlas earlier last year wanted to physically attack Brian Blair because of, I guess, an exaggerated story of a real-life fight that Tony and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff got into.
On the side of the road.
Yeah,
I think I heard about that when I was breaking into wrestling.
Tony was furious about Blair's version of it. Absolutely furious.
Oh, I bet he was. I mean, if you don't tell that story correct, that's why I don't tell it, because I heard it second or third hand, and it might not be correct. So I ain't
and you know what's funny? Not to pour gasoline on a fire, but
you're going to do it anyway.
It actually took place near a bowling alley. But
well,
but anyway, Tony
who
was
came up with that one, though, Brian?
Tony was ready to kill Brian Blair, and he made a video of it when he after the studio session. He was so angry about it, he went back up to Maine and he went to the laundromat where the guy that runs his Twitter account was, and they made a little video where he used some foul language in ways he wanted to hurt Brian Blair and put it out there on social media. Some guys seem to like Brian. Some guys have a real strong hatred of Brian. Any reasons why?
He's like, what do they call that, polarizing? What do they call Trump that? Polarizing? I guess that means you either like him or you hate the hell out of him. But I like Brian. But I mean, I've seen, well, for instance, those tours where he's upset the guys. I forgot who all was on it. The Bushwhackers were there, Bad News, me, shoot, I can't remember who else. Tatanka. There was a bunch of the Tampa boys, I know that. And at that time I was Orlando myself, right up the street. But yeah, I mean, he told the guys he'll pay them later. You know, I'll get it to you later. You know how that goes. Right?
Did you ever get it?
I got mine. Luckily, you know, I got mine for whatever reason.
Later on, did you? Or on the tour?
No, he got me straight out
Oh,
front.
really? Oh,
yeah.
good.
And yeah, like I said, and sometimes he carried himself too proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? And you know, some of the guys resented that because they didn't think he was as tough as he liked to tell people he was.
Do you think he deserved to be raped by the Iron Sheik?
Nobody deserves that. You know, he come in, Nikolai Volkoff, rest his soul. Nikolai was, you know, they roomed together when they were tagging and all that.
Yeah.
Nikolai comes in. Buddy, I'll tell you something about that Sheik. I don't trust that man. He come in the room last night and he stared at my ass. And the covers were off my ass and I sleep naked. And I turned around and he's staring at my ass. and Sheik was, when he was telling me, Sheik was right there, Bubba, of course I stare at your ass. I've wanted to, but Sheik not do that. He goes, you're damn right you not do that.
So the Sheik actually had an interest in Volkoff's ass, according to Volkoff.
Volkoff said the covers, you know, he was laying there naked, the covers, you know, his ass.
Well,
no, Sheik said, your ass was nice and shiny.
I'm glad that when we shared that 2-bedroom suite in Toronto that we had separate bedrooms.
Yeah,
now that you mentioned that, I locked the door.
Especially if you sleep naked.
Well, Sheiky baby, I told you, when he was the bodyguard for the Shah of Iran, that was part of the, I don't know, I'm trying to find the right word here, but that was punishment. If you broke laws, you could be raped in the ass by another man because it wasn't considered gay if you were the one doing the humbling. If you were the humblee, it was a punishment for breaking laws.
You have definitely
The Sheik
changed.
had to do it.
You know, I know that they're not looked down on for, I didn't want to say the F word, but for fucking sheep.
Yeah.
They don't get, they're not looked down as gay for that. I seen a video, man, on YouTube. There was a couple guys, I don't know, Arab or what, I don't know, but they had the things on their head. And they were way out in the field, the one's holding the goat. Man, that goat was kicking, and the other one, you know, was behind him. Somebody videoed that shit. Just out in some random field. And the poor goat, man, he was kicking and trying to get away, and dude was holding him while the other one, yes. But they don't look at that as odd.
Well,
the goat probably does.
The goat probably, it wasn't his best day. Not like the goat we have down here at the studio.
I mean, what is he going to go back and tell his friends? That was a bad experience.
Well, the poor Sheik areas right here, his little pop head. I don't know. That story should be brought to life maybe in a book or a movie.
I was just
someday.
wondering why we're talking about this on a wrestling show.
Well, Brian Blair, I guess, is what led up to it.
He's going to make it. He loved to, Marty, fuck him in his ass and make him humble. I don't know how many times when he didn't like somebody, he'd also say Jew thing a lot. That Jew motherfucker.
Yeah, that was another line that he used ad nauseum on the interviews. But it was the charm. Like I said, there's a whole new generation of fans that came to love and know the Sheik as a result of these drug-induced tirades that would have never known about him otherwise.
Yeah.
In 2004, he wasn't exactly on everybody's radar screen. And then, like I said, he went missing. We found him in someone else's name at a hotel room. Came in. He was as high as a kite. He had no teeth. And he just went to town for 3 hours on every person he ever disliked. Moolah, Hogan, Blair, Andre, Savage,
That's what
Jake.
I said.
It was a hit list.
He can go off like that, and then New Jack was outdoing him. I mean, he leaned back and the floor's New Jack's.
Well, we need
Tell him, Bubba.
We need New Jack here then. He just add to the charm that is this building. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, wrestling fans, we are running out of time on this episode. I'm running out of voice. We've done a lot of talking.
Me too.
We still got a lot to do. For my...
You know what, though?
What?
You've changed.
All right, well, since the last time you said it 5 minutes ago. A lot of
At least
change.
you did
The only
change
thing I
shirts.
haven't changed is my clothes, I guess.
That's right. We're going to have this on next week, too, huh?
That's right, wrestling fans. Next Thursday night, 9 p.m., the party with Marty continues here on Wrestling Insiders. We'll look at Survivor Series 88 and more in the fall of a great period of the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE. Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be here on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. as well. Don't forget, if you're watching the premiere, right where we're all chatting, I'm sure Rick B is here. Marie is here, I'm sure. We're talking about Stoney. What about our friend Marvelous Mick? Is he watching from overseas? What about Trigger Trey? What about all our great friends right now? We've done so many episodes, I can't even remember everybody's name, but we love you anyway. The Super Chat button is open, that little gray. Click it. Any way you can help us, it goes a long way. The Patreon subscription service is also open. For just a couple of bucks, you can stream full-length studio shoot interview DVDs, early access to Wrestling Insiders with Tony and Marty and so much more. Many great perks to go along with that.
Gino Jannetty may come here next time.
Bring him along. We'd love to. I'm sure he'd be an interesting interview, too.
Yeah, he would.
Patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. For Marty Jannetty, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours stay healthy. Be well.
Rock it.